We should be live. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Wednesday Witches Tea Party Live, where we are going to be doing live tarot readings for you guys. So if you're joining us, please chime in and say hello. Apparently everything is working.
Except we have no feed to see questions.
Hold on, we're getting there. I'm going to go over there now. That's what I'm going to do. So that's what I promised to do. Once I've got this running, we can go over there. And we are cooking on gas.
There we are. Yay!
Yeah, we should be all good. So if you're watching us, say hi, say hello. Understand there's going to be a whopping great big delay.
That's fine. I'll be able to see.
But if we look here or there, we can. It's just marvelous. We have pictures of ourselves all over the place. It's
Anna Marie, hey, how are you?
Anna Marie, hi guys, hey you, hello, happy New Year. Somebody said hello. That's marvelous. All right, so let's try and explain how this fun and wonderful stuff actually works this evening. So we're gonna. Lisa and I are going to work together to do, I would say, a minimum of 40 free readings. So you can just simply ask for a card to be pulled in the chat, and we'll put you in a list, and we'll go in order that we get them.
Happy New Year, Renee.
Unless somebody throws us a super chat, because you can throw us a super chat as too. Now, if you throw us a super chat, honestly, it doesn't matter how much you want to throw us, all right? It could be anything, you know, a tiny amount, an outrageous amount, whatever the spirit moves you to give us, that would be wonderful. But that means that you get shuffled to the top of the queue, and instead of getting one card, you're going to get a reading from both Lisa and I, and we're going to pull, what, 3 cards?
3 cards,
yeah. So there you go. So, and Anna Marie, you're on the list. If you guys want a card, please just ask away. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. This is part of our cunning plan for world domination to really build some visibility for our channel. And you guys can help, you know, tell 2
like,
friends.
Comment, and subscribe.
Yes, tell 2 friends, and they'll tell 2 friends. And
Anna Marie, do you have a question, or do you just want a general reading?
Everybody wants generals, don't they? Everybody wants generals. And Sarah would like a card as well, so that's cool. We'll get on with that. Gosh, I think we've got cooking on gas tonight. So hopefully everybody can see us. Hopefully we sound all right, and hopefully we look all right. And
well, we look as we look. There's not much you can do about that.
Ooh,
all right.
I think you look lovely.
So thank you very much. But you're prejudiced.
Am I? I'm not prejudiced.
Chat, somebody threw a super chat, but I don't know who.
Who? Where? What? Where?
It says super chat.
Oh gosh, it hasn't appeared yet. It would be Anna.
Right. Awesome. Well, you're first anyway.
Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Do you have a question, or do you want us to just go for it?
Yeah, we can. While you're working out what you want, because this is a wicked delay, so it's going to take her probably 10 seconds at least to hear our question and then answer it. And so there's this satellite delay. While you're doing that, Lisa's going to go ahead and make a thing. I wanted to, our lights in the kitchen flash when we get a super chat, but I wanted to do these and I forgot.
All right.
I'll do it for next week.
General, go for it. You guys always look great. Thank you. Wonderful energy. And Renee would like a card general. All right, so this is a 3-card reading for Anna Marie.
Okay, you're going to pick first?
I'm going to pick this card as the first card.
See, I'm going to pick this.
Which is the Queen of Cups.
I'm going to pick this one as the second one, which is the King of Cups. It's all cuppy cupness today.
And the last card I've got is the 7 of Wands. All right.
All right.
So I'm going to go first, and I'm going to say that regardless of what people are saying to you, you are going to be okay financially. All right. So this is like keeping your head. This one is like keeping your head above water. You know, I don't know if you ever saw that game Whack the Mole.
Here you go. Hold it a bit closer.
That game Whack the Mole.
So you can see it nice and clearly.
So that's kind of what you're doing. You might be like robbing Peter to pay Paul right now, but the most important thing to do is not pay attention. Oops. I can't do this.
It's all back to
front. Not pay
front.
attention to the people who may not be telling you the truth. So I wouldn't invest in something that you don't really, really scrutinize first. And This card tells us that if you look at all the small print and all the details, you won't get in over your head. So I think that even though you didn't really have an exact question, I think it's answering financial stuff, and it's saying that it will be okay. Just keep a clear head.
All right, so to expand on what Lisa said, I think the first card was the Queen of Cups, right?
Yeah.
Because that always sets the key for me. So this is my Scorpio card. I don't know if you're a Scorpio, but this definitely is the Scorpio card for me, and this is very much about deep-seated emotions sometimes. And I think when we've got that coupled with the King of Cups here, we've got a little bit of a difficult emotional issue.
So she says she's a Leo, so she's not prone to emotional dramas at all.
Because look at me, I'm not.
He's a Leo too. Yeah.
Hey, so you've got your plate a bit full at the moment. There's all sorts of stuff you've got to like bat down, and there may be, as Lisa says, a bit of robbing Peter to pay Paul, but you've got this actually. You actually do thrive in a bit of a chaos, but just watch out that somebody particularly is probably giving you a little bit of a sob story, and I really need, not your responsibility to. You've got to be a little more. It's difficult with this card. You've got to look underneath. I think that's the thing. You've got to dig and really
get the real details.
Get to the nitty gritty. Get underneath and see what's going on, because this may be a little bit of vaporware that's being thrown your way. Oh, but I can do this. So watch out for the snake oil. But this you've got it. You've got this. There's some change and adjustment necessary right now for you to make ends meet, but it's okay. You're going to get the other side of it, and you'll go, yep, got it, no problem. There you go.
Now, Sarah says she'd like a card.
Well, that could be done.
So I'll do Sarah, and then it'll be Renee's turn after that.
How about that?
Sarah's getting a card in general. Okay. Sarah, this is about being on guard. I'm going to say it's about being on guard. A ton of information is coming in for you to process. Whenever we see the knights, we know that they are messengers. And this knight is kind of information that may disturb you. So this is about putting your guard up, being careful how you process things. If you kill the messenger, they can't bring you another message. So, so you have to be careful.
I love Savannah's sticker.
Oh, yeah, okay. So Sarah, do your best to process all the information from a calm, logical space, even though some of it might really put you on alert and might really upset you. But if you overreact, you may alienate. Even if you just react, you may alienate, and then you might lose your stream of information, if you know what I mean. So be careful not to kill the messenger. Yes. All right. So Savannah has super chatted.
Well, I think this is something new. It's called a super sticker. And so you just get to pick some really cool and wonderful thing. And
all right.
Thank you for the super sticker.
So Savannah, hi Gilda.
Oh, hi Gilda. Yeah, hi.
Savannah, I'll put Gilda on the list. What is your question?
I can scroll up. Let's see if she actually had. Just says I'd love a card. So
okay.
Yeah, no, we're golden. So.
All right. So Gilda wants to know about 2022.
It's all marvelous stuff. Look at this. There's some
we finished
good
Sarah.
number of folks starting to join us, which is
and
wonderful.
Then so Savannah jump the line, and then it'll be Renee after that. So this is 3 cards. You pull 2, I pull 1. So you go 1, I go 2, you go 3.
Okay. Here, this one.
That one's number 1, Savannah. This is number 2.
Oh,
and
okay.
You get number 3.
Got to be this one then. All right. So let's see if we can get them in the right order for you. This was I go first this time, yeah. Mm-hmm. So this was card 1, which is the 5 of Wands, followed by the 9 of Cups, followed by the Lovers. All right. So I don't know if you specifically have I'll find out Monday if I need another surgery. Let me tell you, Savannah, you're going to get an awful lot of conflicting information. I know that's not what you want to hear, but it's, well, no, you should do this. No, really, you should do, no, you should do, no,
Right,
you
this is
should do this.
This is our opinions are like buttholes card.
Everybody's got one, okay? So I think for you, a little bit of time just spent in sort of really listening to your inner voice and find that place of inner calm. I think this is a wonderful card. This is the wish card, all right? So if you really focus on what it is that you are looking to draw to you, the most positive outcome. Don't trouble yourself as whether somebody would say to you, oh no, that's not realistic, that's never going to happen, you're going to have to do with whatever. Have none of that truck. Go with what you feel, or really focus on what you feel is your perfect scenario. Your wish, okay? Because if you don't have a wish, you can't have a wish come true. And this is a wonderful card in this. I see this is very much about, curiously enough, a lot of spiritual growth for you as well, and a rise of the Kundalini as well here. So I think there's a health and vitality is going to come back in this instance. That would be mine. Over to the boss who knows far more than I.
This is the Archangel Raphael that is God's healer. So whether or not you have to have a surgery or not, I definitely feel very positive about your health outlook this year. Okay? So whether you decide to have the surgery or not, I think you can't make the wrong decision. I think this is going to be a very healing time. Okay? This is the wish card, and sometimes in order to make a wish come true, there has to be a viable plan. So you may have to submit to another surgery in order to get to the health that you really wish for, if that makes sense. And I'm on a personal note without the cards, I'm going to say that I have faith that you know within yourself how you feel and what the best decision is. So if you can put off a surgery till after Mercury goes direct, that would be great. And if you wait a little while, it may go better. But really work to listen to what the doctor that you trust the most, and listen to your intuition. But I do see overall health being better. All right. Jen Brock, can I please have a card on relationship? All right. So
Gilda's jumped the list.
Yes, she
Gilda
has. So
thrown
Renee,
chat.
you're still waiting.
You're still waiting.
Gilda's super chatted now.
Oh, Jen is super
and Jen is super chatted.
Renee,
so
you've moved down the down one as well, just to be. All
right.
All right.
So,
well,
wow,
thank you
20.
so much. That's beautiful. That's very, very kind of you. All right. So, Gilda, have you a question?
She did. She said 2022 outlook.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Right.
Sorry. Good.
So
good job. She's keeping in.
I go number 1.
Yes, you do.
And you go number 2.
Do I really?
Well, I hope you do. If you don't, you have more problems than Savannah.
Well,
and
let's not go number 2 right here. No.
Number 3. Oh dear. All right.
It's perfectly. It's like a game show. No, we're like a pair of bloody comedians.
It's just kind of like a game show. So Renee, you're still on the list, and your next list people keep super chatting. All right. So Anton and I read differently. Like he always does like a beginning, a middle, and an end, which is perfectly apt.
Well, there are 3 cards.
And I kind of do a cluster.
A cluster.
So it's really funny that this card to me always reminds me of talking about, again, a plan. But I always say, see, we can look at this, and this guy has come in the middle of the night and stole everybody's weapons while they weren't looking, and now the little army guys are running up trying to catch him. So I think that in order to have a really good year, you've got to kind of go army on the enemies. Meaning that, you know what I mean. Meaning that you tell them what you're going to tell them. Ask them what you just told them. and make sure you tell them it again, kind of a thing, right? You tell them what you're going to tell them, you tell them again, and you ask them to repeat it back to you. So there are no questions about the direction you're headed, no room for wiggles, right? This is going to be a very transformative year for you. I think you're going to reinvent yourself. Now, what's really interesting about these two cards is that although they're, facing in different directions, each of these characters has a feather in their cap.
She's got a feather in the
They
cap.
have life experience, they have understanding of karmic experience. You're not going to get fooled again. So I think you're going to find the confidence to move forward and transform into the life that you really want for yourself. Well, Sarah, thank you very much.
All right.
Okay.
So this was the first one, right? I believe it was.
Yes.
So this really says it all for me. This is, and I'm going to agree largely with what Lisa said, to be honest, Gilda. But this, to me, this is not a death, but this is maybe, in your case, I think this is going to be Gilda 3.0. I think we've had a 2.0. It was all right, but 3.0, I think it's the third time's the charm, as the saying goes. This is arrival at a place from which there is no return. People do not undie, but you will notice that what's gone on here is, le roi est mort, vive le roi. As far as everybody's concerned, on the outside, they're not seeing any difference. We've still got a king. We have to do our stuff. We have to go shovel whatever shovel we've got to shovel. But it's all changed for this guy, the recently departed king. But his death come down to carry him down, the newly departed, down to the River Styx here, I believe it is, whereupon he jumps onto the ferry, pays the ferryman, arrives at the other side, and look at it. Look at it. I don't know if you can see that. But this is a
sun's
huge,
coming up and...
a huge renaissance, literally. So this very much is about you arriving at a place of realization from which you can no longer go back. Once you know something, you can't go back to being blissfully ignorant and say, "Oh, I don't know that anymore." Once you know that, I think this is a secret for you to actually move forwards and really regain your place in the sun, because I can see the sun coming up there. So I think that's such an important thing. Speaking place in the sun, this may involve a little bit of a step of faith for you. You may not know quite how it's going to work out, but just be certain of the inevitability of this, that it's going to work out.
You're going to have to jump at some
It's going to work. Yeah, you can't pither, you can't learn to swim without jumping in the water. So yeah, but be mindful of people who would steal away from you that which you are working towards. So, I mean, I find this card really interesting. As Lisa says, it's very army. We've got the army at camp, and here's the brigadier general giving the old orders group in the morning. Right, tomorrow then we're going to surround the enemy with a bloody brilliant pincer movement, and we'll catch them with the pants down. It'll be marvellous. I'll have a statue. Meanwhile, this guy's stealing all the damn swords. So come tomorrow morning, they're just going to be a bunch of angry people going, "Oh, very naughty." They're not going to be an effective fighting force. So this for you is don't let events or stuff drag you away from your true higher purpose, all right? You've got to invest a little more in yourself, I think, this year, Gilda. All right? But if you do that, and if you're certain of the inevitability of a positive outcome here, you're gonna kick it out the park. I actually do see you having a monumental growth year. So more power to your elbow, girl.
All right. So, Renee, you're hanging out there. Don't go away.
No, we'll get to you, I promise. It's just people keep getting in front of you.
And Wendy, I don't know if you wanted a card or not, but thank you for your kind words.
Oh, she's so lovely, our Wendy.
And Jen is next. And then Sarah said for her super chat, she'd like us to expand on the don't shoot the messenger. So we'll do, right now, as it stands, we're going to do Jen.
All right.
Then Sarah.
Okay.
Then Renee, then Wendy.
Okay.
Unless somebody comes along and super chats again.
It happens. It happens. It does happen.
Oh, yes, she's there. Okay, good. All right. So this is Jen. And Jen says she'd like to know about relationship. She's dating someone and she's a little reluctant to move forward. So I think you go first because you just went second for Gilda.
I did? Okay, that's fine. So,
It is kind of like a game.
It is a game show.
But we do take it seriously. All right, so 1, 2,
and me.
3.
I feel this
And then
one.
you go first.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, this is kind of interesting. I think you're a fiercely independent woman, and I think that is a wonderful thing. And I think you've gotten used to you being very much master of your own domain here, and very much in charge of your own affairs. Quite frankly, you've got a great work ethic. You love to do what you love to do, and you do it really, really well. Okay, and I think you're a little bit concerned that there seems to be a little bit too much emotion and drama here, and I don't know if that sits entirely well with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling that Fishboy here is just a little too dramatic, and that doesn't mean the thing with Pisces is that my mum was a Pisces, so I can speak with some
this card
degree.
is Pisces energy, a little bit of drama.
This is my Piscean card. Just to clarify, the Page of Cups here. Just you can cop old Fishboy there, and the first one you got was the 8 of Pentacles, if you can see that, and then we pulled the Lovers for the third one. So in this does indicate we're talking about relationships to me, definitely here. I would have preferred for a very positive outcome here to have seen the 2 of Cups. This is the Lovers, so this may not be Mr. Right. This might be Mr. Right now, to be perfectly honest. I think there's a gulf of difference in, sometimes we grow like this, and sometimes we grow like this, and sometimes it's, what the hell are you
She's
looking
the
at?
Pisces.
Oh, well, there you go.
Is the other person a Gemini? Just questioning that.
Well, I love Pisceans. Don't get me. I said my mum was a Pisces, but my God, their receptors go to 11, man. They're just, everything is turned up to the max, and so things can cut very deeply. You can get a very emotional, jarring kind of thing from something, and I don't know, this is a very pragmatic, maybe the roles are reversed here, because I read this as you and this is him, but if we're talking about the other way around, well, maybe it's on I'm just interested in money and hard work and all that sort of stuff, and you want a bit more passion and love. And yes, the other person's a chuffing Gemini.
Oh, so there's 4 of them.
So yeah. Geminis are alluring creatures, though. They really are, but they're, oh God, they are fickle. They do change their minds. No, they just gain a different perspective, don't they?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to throw you onto far wiser minds than me.
All right.
She's going to fix this for you.
Well, the first thing I want to say is Pisces and Gemini are like the 2 big flirts of the zodiac. All right.
Hopefully with each other.
Well, I think that is part of what's going on. All right. So Pisces and Gemini are the 2 big flirts, right? And each of them has what's called a dual energy. When we look at Pisces, they're the 2 fishes, and Gemini are the twins. So there's four people in this relationship already before we even talk about families and past things and whatever else.
It's a bit of a
Just
crowd,
between
really.
the 2 of them, there's 4. And when we look at the Lover's card as a relationship card, we know that both people had very good intentions, but both people handled the situation very differently, right? So, Eve wanted that knowledge, not necessarily seeing the wrong about that. And Adam kind of condemned her. So how do I put that into answering this relationship?
Keep hold of your roots.
I think that things are going to go along kind of as they are until the Gemini time of year, which is around the end of May, beginning of June. And in that time, I think you're going to both spend a lot of energy on communication. Right? Now, they may be a real talker. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and they might be a real talker. And Pisces is a great listener. So I think over these next few months, you're going to evaluate what they're saying rather than just jump right in, right? So this says with a little hard work, this could be fantastic. But you do need to kind of weed through the idle chatter to get what is the truth, you know? Are they jumping right in and saying, I love you? Are they telling you their life story? Are they, you know, are they trying to be too close too quick? Those are all very Gemini kind of traits when they start a relationship.
Hello, I love you. Won't you tell me your name?
Right. Hello, I love you. Won't you tell me your name? Yeah. So I think that slow and steady is what's going to turn this relationship into something that can be really good. I think it will have a really good foundation, and I think that you will get a chance to talk too.
Talk?
And
I'm going to shut up.
No, the Gemini is the one that talks a lot. But yes, Pisces can sometimes be a little over dramatic, but I think in this case, that's a good thing because there's an awful lot of stimuli from the other side, you know? Slow and steady is going to be what gets you there. You don't have to make any move right now. In fact, not making a move is really moving because that gives you more time to figure out what they're all about. All right.
Oh, I can't understand feminine logic. Yeah.
All right.
They don't come with handbooks,
So now,
you know, women.
Sarah's saying, could we give her a little more information? Like
Shuffle. They're
she
too big
said,
for me to do.
general is fine, or a little more information about
Not
don't
shooting
shoot the
messengers.
messenger.
It's always best not to, really. Oh, message for you, sir. Yes.
All right.
So,
1,
2.
2.
Ooh. I'm going to scoop these back up so I don't throw them on the floor. Because I'm good like that.
Okay.
Amazing? Well,
so-
that's one of the words.
I don't know what we are, but all right.
Thank you, Jen.
Sarah, a situation that you have felt like you were stuck in for a while is going to move forward rather quickly. And you have a great opportunity to believe that, right? When you look at this card, she thinks she's stuck because she can feel the cold swords against her back, but she can't see that there aren't any in front of her. So I think you are going to move forward with something. This tells me that this is going to be a very positive financial decision. So I think you're going to get an offer for some sort of step up. For example, if you are an attorney, you may be asked to be a partner.
Ooh,
right?
Excuse us.
If you are working hard at something, you got like a step up to a management position. And I don't know why, but I think I also need to tell you to be very careful not to get a speeding ticket. So I don't know if you recently got a new car or you have to go a different way to work. But just try not to mar your driving license. I don't have any idea where that's coming from.
Yeah, well, if you do, be really nice and sweet, and maybe the police officer will smile kindly on you.
All right, and Renee, you're next.
So
After this.
Which was first?
1,
Okay,
I think.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I didn't see them. You.
I don't know. Yeah, this was first.
Okay.
This was first. I remember
Yeah,
because
you
I thought
started with this one first. So
I
I'm
do
really-
my download a different way than you.
Okay.
It's loud.
It is completely allowed. Sarah, I absolutely love your little, what do you call it? Those things, avatar icon thing or whatever it is it got. Because it looks like
A rising or a setting?
I think that's rising. I just feel we're looking out to the east. which is beautiful. And a shameless plug, we got up early on Yule morning at Albanathan, the December 21st, thereabouts. I think it was. I said, I got this great idea. You up for an adventure? And we actually went and did a time-lapse drone photograph up on the overlap photograph video. Check it out. But it's quite beautiful. So there you go. Shameless plug. Anyway, coming back to what we're saying here.
All right, this is Sarah.
For you, Sarah, I don't know, but I think perception is key. How we look at things is basically the precursor to how we react to things. If we see something as a big ass problem and oh woe is me and it's all so tough and difficult, that's exactly where you're at. If however you see something as whatever, I'll just deal, I'll deal, you find that you get to the other side of that issue because you've still got the issue whichever way you look at it. And in fact, if you wallow in the what's the word I'm looking for? Not the grief exactly, but if you allow it to press your buttons and you allow it to, get your heckles up and all that sort of stuff, it gets harder to sort of manage that. So if you look closely at this card, I mean, on the face of it, and I want you to look closely on the face of it, it doesn't look good. We've got a blindfold and bound woman surrounded by a prison of swords on a tidal flat with the tide out. And so, yeah, it doesn't look good. However, when you look closer, you will see there are no knots. A simple shrug, the binds fall away. Lift the blindfold, see the swords do not ensnare you. You can just walk the chuff out of there. Okay, so
whatever it is, you're not stuck.
You are not stuck. You can move forwards. So this also good judgment, and I think this is where we're getting the speeding ticket, or Lisa's getting the speeding ticket thing. Good judgment comes from bad experiences, but bad experiences lead to good judgment. Yeah, and it's like you don't get the experience until just after you needed it, sort of thing. But at this point, you if you learn from some of the stuff, I mean, the reason I'm saying this is my King of Solomon card. It was, the epitome of good judgment. So really, allow yourself to make objective assessments, not get all wound up and buried in the grief a little bit. Do that, get there. This is cracking, all right? This to me, as Lisa said, is an elevation, quite a dramatic elevation in status.
Good money card, yeah.
Yes, damn good money card. And it also is indicating it's not just money, it's the whole darn package, that you will have the time to enjoy it, which is kind of cool. I mean, I've met people who are making, well, not billions of dollars, but I've met people making obscene amounts of money who don't have a second to themselves to enjoy it. What's the point then? So this is like slow down, the snail there. Just looky, snail, okay?
Teeny snail,
slow down, don't tread on the snail. Slow down, chill out, and it's all going to come together. And I think, don't let things overwhelm you, which is maybe where the don't shoot the messenger thing's coming from, It's like, sometimes we get difficult things we have to deal with, but running the person through who's telling you it isn't going to fix the problem, is it?
All right, Renee.
Italy, and it's setting. Oh, wow, I'll check it out. Thank you. Please do check it out. It doesn't suck.
All right, Renee.
Renee!
Oh,
ooh.
Decisions.
Decisions.
I think that this card is saying, again, kind of take your time. There seems to be a theme, which there usually is.
Isn't there?
Whoever shows up at the tea party creates kind of like an oversoul or a theme. So the theme so far tonight seems like take your time. I think there are some opportunities this year that will kind of affect a longer term of time, meaning you may have the opportunity to move if that was something you really wanted to do. Or you may have the opportunity to change jobs if that was something that you wanted to do. Now, whether you do it or not, whether you wanted to do it or not, I feel like whatever choice you make is going to have a longer term effect. So do take your time and choose wisely. When you look at these cups, you can see some of them look like fantastic things, and some of them look like toxic things, and others you just can't tell. So I think this is all about doing your research and making a very informed decision. I do think that you don't have anything to worry about, so don't worry, and give yourself that kind of planning instead, right? I always tell people worrying is manifesting in reverse. So now is a time to do your planning. And maybe it even, the reason I'm getting that long-term thing is maybe you're making like a 3-year plan or a 5-year plan or something like that. But whatever it is that you're working on, I think that you are going to be your own best friend about it. And you're going to listen to the advice that you have for yourself and not make any quick decisions.
But choose you must, in the words of Yoda.
All right, so Wendy, I don't know if Wendy is still there or not, or if Wendy had a question. She might have just signed on to say hello.
Well, she does that. She's nice.
Yeah, she does that.
We
She's
love
nice.
our Wendy. Lovely person.
While we have a minute to see if Wendy comes back.
Yes.
Thank you. Sounds great. Love it. Okay, good. Yeah, just be nice to yourself and listen to yourself.
Kimon, hello. How are you? Welcome.
If you want a card, let us know.
If you want to, we'll just tell you, before Lisa goes in, yes, of course you can ask. We'll just tell you how it works for the new folks joining us right now, because I'm sure some new people have arrived. We're going to be reading for about 2 hours, maybe a little less, maybe a bit more. We're going to try and do at least 40 free readings.
Well, it depends on who asks.
Depending on how many people ask and all that. Hello, Jennifer. Welcome.
Yes, come on. If you have a question, let us know.
Yeah. So the way it works, if you want a free reading, just ask away in the chat. Everybody goes in order. Lisa, she's very organised, unlike me. I can guarantee to screw everything up spectacularly. Lisa writes everything down, keeps everybody in order. If you have a question, please go ahead and ask it in the chat. For your free reading, you're just going to get 1 card, and it'll either be Lisa or me, depending on the order that we're going in. If you want a more detailed reading, because we're doing this too, then throw us a super chat. Doesn't matter how much, anything you feel like. Doesn't matter. A couple of bucks, a couple of $1,000, whatever you feel like doing. If money's no object, it's all good. No, seriously, whatever you feel like you want to throw our way, just throw us a super chat, and both Lisa and I will do you a more detailed reading. We'll pick like 3 cards for you and dig in a bit. So you're welcome to do that. Also, if there's a bunch of people waiting, by throwing us a super chat, you also jump to the front of the queue. Well, you jump to the back of the queue of everybody else who's thrown us a super chat.
But you can move up around.
Nobody's going to jump. So if somebody's like throwing a $10 super chat, $10 super chat, and you do a $2,000 super chat, you're still going behind the $10 super chats. We're just going to do that. It's just fair.
Yeah, it's not monetary order.
It's not about the amount. It's not. So there you go. That's basically it. And you were going to say something just in a second while I started talking and confused the chuff out of everybody.
Yeah, I just said we were going to take a minute while we waited for Wendy, but she's obviously not here.
Oh.
So you can go with Kimon.
Hello.
She has like a general reading.
Are we up to date? Good
yeah, we
Lord.
are. It's quiet tonight.
How can you do such a thing? I don't know where everyone's
Usually get overwhelmed.
All right, Kimon, and you've got a question. Can I have a general reading? Watch what you're focused on right now. I think your focus is not desperately positive. 5s are a bit of a struggle. I get that. And it looks like the focus is on these 3 spilled cups here. I know you said this is a 5 of cups.
Things that maybe didn't work out the way you planned.
We're focused on loss, focused on, oh, God, no, But hang on a minute. Cool your jets a second, because ain't nothing destroyed here. you know. And in fact, you don't want to be drinking green stuff anyway. I don't know of a good green drink, all right? And that includes Mountain Dew. So
Oh, God.
don't drink that. Not unless you want to be hyper caffeinated for the rest of your natural life, which will be short and very entertaining. But anyway, moving on. You've got these 3 spilled cups, and if you notice this figure is very distraught and very focused on that. However, just behind this figure are 2 perfectly full usable cups. Plus, these cups are not smashed, they're not destroyed, they can be refilled. It is quite literally water under the bridge. The card shows that. Look, water under the bridge.
Past is past. Don't dwell there.
If you dwell there, it just makes things worse, you know. Oh, woe is me. Lather, rinse, repeat. No good. Where I come from, and honestly, I know enough about this to be moderately dangerous. A house on a hill with a river running past is a really, really good omen. This is actually a church on a hill with a river running past. So this is a really, really good. This is part of your higher spiritual growth, you know. Motto from the RAF, if you will, per arda ad astra, through adversity to the stars. If nothing challenges us, if nothing causes us to try and get a little bit further, then you get no further. So just really turn your focus around and put it onto something positive.
Right, because the sky in that card is gray, but the person has to believe the sun is still there.
It is
All right.
indeed.
And hi, Jen. This is Jovial Jennifer.
Hello. How are you?
She says brightest blessings and pickle juice is green, and you can drink that. That's true.
That's vinegar, dear. No, we don't drink vinegar.
Jennifer, do you have a question, or would you just like a card in general?
And we wait. The reason being we wait is because we have this ridiculous lag. It's actually already Thursday here. It just takes that long for this wonderful live streaming stuff for us to say it to get out, you to respond, and us to see it. It's just not a real time thing.
Right, because
it's
there's
like
a lag out and a lag back, isn't there?
Satellite delay.
Yes.
That's it. We could be on the dark side of the moon. Well, as a matter of fact,
just
it's
don't
all
know.
dark. You never know.
The
moon is dark right now. It is a new moon.
Well, it is new. It's growing. Waxing moon.
Can you see the crescent? Can you see the crescent? Can you see the crescent? Just a card. All right. There you go. Here's your card.
No.
Did you want to see it?
I'm doing her because you did the last one. Don't be a turd.
I'm sorry. I'm like that. That's what I do. I do it well. Oh, you're so welcome, Kimone, and thank you so much for joining us. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. We love it when people do that. It's our kind of what we're trying to do is actually grow our channel. That's why we're here tonight doing this.
All right.
Ooh, hey, that's not a bad
Taurus
card.
friend.
You have an advantage. You already know she's a Taurus.
I know some people. Yes, I do. She's one of my Reiki peeps. She's masked.
No, it's a grin. It's a massive grin. It's a
I thought it was a mask.
Could be.
All right. So if you were here earlier, we said all the knights are messengers.
Don't shoot them.
Well, that was the other card.
Yes.
I think there's some really, really cool stuff coming that you don't want to miss. So I'm going to say, before you just delete things, make sure that you don't need them, if that makes any sense. So, right, like you might have an email account where you get 100 emails and you're just like, frick it, delete them all, put them in the trash. Something may appear to be spam that really isn't.
It's not from a guy in Nigeria, is it?
No, especially if you're waiting for something that has to do with insurance, like health insurance or retirement or something that I think might be through work. So be careful not to delete something that looks like spam that isn't. Because I do think it's important information that you could use to help yourself go forward. All right.
How cool is that? So if you guys are watching as well, Jennifer's laughing at me now. If you guys are watching, we have some predictions up for 2022, which is on our 11s thing that we did on Monday.
Right, we did.
So
we,
check that one out.
Read to you the predictions from all of our readers, and then I spewed on for about an hour. I had done a lot of research with astrology, and I gave about a 7-page,
You know what though? There are already undertones, and I'm not going to be not going to spoil it for you. You're going to have to go watch it. I'm not going to be the one who just like buzzkill and tell you the plot kind of thing. But I will tell you some of the things that we learned today, listening to Merrick Garland's address and all that. Some of those undercurrents appear to be starting to show us little eddies, if you will,
well,
on
it's
the
written in the
surface
stars,
of the water.
so to speak. Yeah,
They are showing us eddies in the surface of the water already. There's a disturbance underneath, and I think it's going to be interesting times. And I think that's exactly what you started with, or either that and the taroscopes, when it may you live in interesting times, which of course is a Chinese curse. And also, if you haven't seen them yet, Lisa did post her taroscopes for January as well. They're up there too. So please check those out.
It was lovely to have you.
Who had who? What? Hey, Sparky, how's it going?
Jennifer, she said, thanks again. Such a nice surprise to catch you both.
Oh,
well, Jennifer, we're going to do this every Wednesday night from 7 to 9. We're going to hold a live tea because we've had so much pent-up energy. I haven't been able to read. We haven't been able to teach our classes except for a few little bits and bobs online.
Leslie would like a card. I don't know if Sparky wants the card.
I think Sparky probably does.
Okay.
So I'm going to put Sparky and then Leslie.
Okay.
So you do Sparky.
All right, I can do that. Well, finish what you were saying first. It's all right. We got plenty of time. What were you saying?
I don't know.
And there you go. Train of thought.
So I said we have all this pent up energy, so we're going to do give backs every Wednesday night, and it's an evil plan towards world domination because we think we'll get a lot of like, comments, and subscribes for our channel.
Well, that's the key, isn't it? It's all about one of the things with the Tube of You, as we understand it, which have to be honest. I mean, we'll just let you into a little secret, if you will. We have plans, Celtica. If you haven't do that, check out Celtica.org. Check out the Celtica video on our channel as well. This is what we're trying to do. Now, we need to raise an immense amount of money to do that. And the only way you can really do that, I mean, if we're somebody like Bono or Cher or whatever, you're just going to write me a check and everybody sends in a shed load of money. We are still... we're a legend in our own lunchtime, but we're still an
we're a legend in our own mind, yeah.
We're still an amazingly well-kept... Oh, Sparky, thank you so much. We're still an amazingly well-kept secret. So what we're trying to do is work on ways to actually grow our channel. And we've a strategy. We've been really working on producing perennial content, which you're going to see a lot more of. The other day we shot a video. I've yet to edit it.
We've shot a really wonderful new moon.
New moon ritual.
We captured the Capricorn new moon, which is probably the most wonderful time for prosperity for this year. It's the last lunation in the year of the metal ox. So we'll be having that as our perennial content in a couple of weeks, and you can join in and do your own prosperity magic with us.
Yeah, because we caught that energy at that time.
It's in that circle, isn't it?
We actually went to the trouble of getting it, the right time to actually do this, to ensure that we've got that, like a little magical mirror, except this is a magical video. It's actually, imprinted at that time and that place, even though we work in a time outside of time. But you can still access that energy. That's the wonderful thing about it.
So Sparky.
Okay, hold on. We're getting there. There's that. So there's a lot more perennial content. We've got series of things to do. I mean, like Lisa's Mustang she's had from '89, which is in sorry shape, I have to say. We've been in the process of actually restoring that, so you can check that out. There's going to be, we've got work to do on our barn, so there's all sorts of fun stuff, But we're really trying to invest an awful lot of time and love into our channel, and at the same time really ramp up our overall online presence. When people come across it, goes, I wish I'd known about this place before. Well, so our message is to try and blow our own trumpet a bit louder.
We want to find the people who are looking for us.
Good lighting tonight, nice and warm tones. Thank you.
Oh well, Leo has been
Well, we're actually on the decent camera, which we should have had last week. It's not modern, this camera. We've had it a darn good while, but it's got really lovely optics on it, which makes a difference. If you really want to know, it's a Canon XF305, and we're using Livestream Studio via a Thunderbolt link into my computer. So that's how we're doing it tonight. But it's kind of cool because we can do green screen and all that kind of fun stuff. So we'll play with that later. But anyway, that's by the by. Yes, you got to look good. You got to sound good. You got to be all right. We need to address the acoustics in this room, though. They're slappy all over the place. But that's another thing. Jennifer has a few recruits. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Get them to like, comment, and subscribe.
Spread the word. Spread the word.
Because we need to get to 10,000. If we get to 10,000 subscribers, then things tip in our favor. So
yeah, it's all about as I understand the algorithm, which who understands the algorithm, but we're trying to look at other people who are successful. Perennial content, watch hours. That's what YouTube want to see, that people are actually watching your stuff. Now, we figured if we're on here wittering, vaguely interesting for a couple of hours, that's, if we get enough people, that's a good jump in watch hours. So that's why one of the things that we actually doing this for. There is an ulterior motive
for our hidden agenda.
But it's also nice. We enjoy doing it. So that's it. Yeah. So guys, please, if you're watching, do like, comment, subscribe, share this all over the place, tell your friends and all that fun stuff. All right.
Thanks, Jen.
So thank you. What the heck are we doing? It's Sparky's turn.
It's your
and Sparky.
Said sure, why not? But she's given a super chat, so she gets
3
cards.
And I think you go first.
Oh, is it?
I think so. I think I was first last this time.
All right, I have card number 1.
I shall do a number 2 right now, right here. Ha ha. That one weighs thin.
Money. All right.
All right. Scoop these back together so I don't throw them on the floor.
What does the universe want to tell you?
We're about to find out.
I think the first thing the universe wants to say is to invest in yourself. And by this I mean not just financial investment, but the whole thing, like the mind, body, spirit. I know this is the time of year that everybody thinks about New Year's resolutions, and I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like that. You know how in an emergency when somebody's on fire, they used to always tell us stop,
drop and roll. I'm surprised we never got to do that more often.
This is more like stop, look, and listen. So you notice that the one coin is over the guy's chest. And I think this is the message here is to value your soul. Right? If you want to listen to more guided meditation, find a way to do that. Even if it's, on a lunch break or something. Give yourself that time to renew. I also think that there is some kind of monetary thing happening where you may take on a second job if you don't already have one. And you might think, well, that's very contradicting. You told me to stop and listen to myself and feed my soul, and now you're telling me I have to work harder. But it's not necessarily harder. It might just be like smarter, that if you gave yourself that renewal, you would have more energy. And the second job that I think you're going to be doing is something that will feed your soul. For example, if you are an artist, you're going to find a way to be able to do more art because you're going to be able to sell it. And this to me looks like you may have to finally just walk away from someone who is really not healthy for you. So, sometimes we have long-term friends that became our friend when we were someone different. And they, we may grow away from that person. And it doesn't mean that that person's a bad person, but it means that the relationship is not feeding your soul anymore. In fact, they may be taking from you without realizing it. So you may have to abandon an old friend in order to have the time you need to feed your soul. That's my take on that.
Okay. Can you remember which was firstest?
Yeah.
Oh. Fiscally, this is actually going to be a very strong year for you. I think, good foundations. And the thing is, though, there's going to be a demand placed on you to shell out some of that good money you've been, working on. And the noisiest wheel may be the one that gets lubricated the first, but but it isn't always the right one, So for you, this card to me is it's a Libran minor arcana justice card. Where I come from, 6, because it's the 6 of Pentacles, divides really easily by 2.
What's happening?
That ain't what's happening here. So I think you're going to be called upon to make best possible use of all of your resources and really take some time to measure up what is worthy of investment, what is worthy of support, and what frankly is just, go tell it to the crows or whatever. Because I think there's, it's interesting. You got a ticket somewhere in a pocket as well. This has just jumped out of left field for me. You should go find that ticket. I might lead you to a bit of this. There might be somewhere.
Isn't
something.
it awesome how you notice different things, different times?
That's just leapt out of me. It's because I seldom look at the cards at this angle from over the top of it right there, and this one just leapt out at me. So this person may actually be sat on a chunk of change in their pocket. It's a good little red ticket there. So check that out, seriously. But, I'll just throw everything to the floor because I'm kind of cool like that.
Well, yeah, you might have a second income that's
quite lucrative. So, here's the thing. Here's the deal. In the words of Joe Biden. Joe Biden. I can't even do it.
Just please.
Just calm yourself, Anton. Don't do the jokes. You're not a comedian.
No.
Right. So
really bad.
I about 1,000 years ago in a former life. Well, actually, no, it was here, and it wasn't that long ago. I think I stopped doing it about 2010-ish or something. 2008, 2010. I used to teach for Apple as one of the first jobs I did when I actually came over and sunk my roots in this country. I was more, doing my software development and all that kind of stuff. And so, I wound up teaching for Apple, which was kind of cool. But I taught people technical support, like the geeky people, how to troubleshoot things and that sort of fun stuff. One of the things that people of higher intelligence who just cannot let things go, he said, pointing firmly at Sparky, they do tend to not necessarily obsess, but dig in, so much. I've got to resolve, I've got to fix it. And, I say, look, for goodness sakes, think about the human element. Sometimes, your focus can be so narrow that you've actually failing to see the whole picture. And you've got to remember that human element. Sometimes it is necessary to literally extricate yourself from the situation and put your mind somewhere else. And I had to tell people that does not mean go get a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or a Mountain Dew or whatever and ponder about it while you have your beverage. That means put your mind somewhere else. Do something else. Leave it alone. Walk away, okay? Because if you don't, you're going to be taking that shovel out, and once you've hit rock bottom, you'll be getting the rock drill out, and you'll dig a bloody big hole for yourself. So sometimes walking away, it's not trashing everything. This is not I've got so frustrated I've smashed it all to pieces. It's taking a sabbatical. And I think this is something for you that is necessary. I think sometimes you get pulled into something. I'm compulsive and focused. Do you don't say? Dead giveaway here. So yeah, it's okay. It's a valuable skill if it's harnessed right, but it can work against you. You can get too stuck in. So just get your butt out of there. Get some chill time, do something completely different, and I think that will help you tremendously. But to summarize, it's coming together for you this year. I really think so, financially.
All right.
I do think so. So there you go. Now what we got?
Whose turn is it to do a single card reading? Because we have Leslie.
Okay, you do it, because I haven't got a bloody clue what's going on. I'll defer to you.
All right. Leslie, I hope you're still there.
Yes, he is.
Huh. You see this thing about themes?
Choices.
So yeah, the themes for tonight are really about making decisions. I want to say that normally you are awesome at making the right decisions. So I don't know if you're a Virgo or a Libra, but both of those signs really look at the details, and they really write out their list of pros and cons, and they really see what's working and what's not, and they really look at the potential for each choice and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to say that normally that's your MO. You're really good at making choices.
Is there a but here?
Yep. But I think the past 6 months, I'm going to say, I feel like things have just been going so quickly that you haven't got the time to really make the assessment the way you usually would, and you've had to make some pretty quick decisions that maybe you're really not happy with. So I don't really know how to tell you to change that, because you may have come to a place where you don't have the choice anymore. But I think if you really look at it, you might find a way to get the other place. For example, let's say that something came up in your career and they said, well, you could stay working in the building you're working, or if you wanted to travel like 10 more minutes and work in this other building, you could have this great big opportunity. But you have to decide. And you said, well, okay, I'll go. And then when you got there, you thought, well, Jesus, this is like another 20-minute drive, not 10 minutes, because the traffic is terrible.
And 10 minutes on a good day.
And I don't know the people that are here as well as I know the people that I've worked with all that time. So you may go to, human resources or whatever and say, I'll do what I have to because I said I'd do it, but if there comes an opportunity for me to go back to my old position, I'd like to do that. So I think there's something like that going on where the decision was made, you're not happy with it because you had to make it in a hurry. And I think my point to you is don't beat yourself up. You did the best you could with the information and time available, right? And again, I think this is the theme of this evening. Don't beat yourself up. Feed your soul instead. Do the best that you could do with the information and time available, right?
That's true.
Because we are all in very uncharted waters, We're coming into year 3 of dealing with
a global pandemic.
Yeah. And it's affected all kinds of relationships. It's affected people's psyches, it's affected their well-being, it's affected their health, it's affected their finances. It's there's just so many things that we don't normally have to deal with.
All that aside, just dealing with the very difficult health issues and life disrupting events, is bad enough. But then the whole damn thing's gotten politicized, and people are like at each other's throats, and it's
not
just,
only that, the people who show up in this community are the empaths and spiritual people who are dealing with waves of grief and loss, even if they don't know doing the best I can with the information I know at the moment.
And
Absolutely, that's all you can do.
You know, that's all you can do, and
you know,
that's a good approach.
All right, so there's these waves of grief and loss that the empaths are having to put boundaries up and cope with. You know, it has not been easy for spiritual people to cope.
Not.
And I think that some people have really lost the ability to cope, and they've just kind of turned off, you know?
Yeah, like, is it that, like the Pink Floyd song "Comfortably Numb"? Almost, you know, you become so bombarded, you're almost like desensitized,
exactly.
but in a not in a good way, you know. It's just like,
right. Turn on the TV. How many more people died today? I don't want to know. You know, I'm not going to watch the news anymore. It's too bad.
500,000 people were affected with a potentially deadly disease. Oh, what we do, you know?
I
mean, that's what it's become. You know, it's like, that would be horrific. You know, anywhere on the world, that would be horrific.
Right.
I'd be like, you're kidding me. This is like nightmare scenario stuff I'm watching on the news. And it's like, okay, so it's just another day.
Just another day in paradise.
Just another day, you know, of this. And it's gone on so long. And yeah, as I said, it's brought out the best and the worst in people. And it's difficult. I mean, we're so blessed because we have a beautiful spiritual community around us. But even within that, there's still been, you know, people
have
not seeing
sick.
eye to eye.
Right.
You know,
people have gotten sick. There's
and
been, you know, some disputes. But you just do your best, right?
You do.
Why don't we?
Maya Goldberg, who said, was it, as Gilda just said, you do the best you can until you know better, then do better, and that's it.
Maya Angelou, you mean?
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
What? Who's Maya Goldberg?
I don't know.
Probably a very wealthy Jewish lady.
A little Jewish lady. Anyway, why don't you pull a card for inspiration for everyone here to cope with what they have to cope with?
When is the best time to plant seeds this spring? Well, there you go. Curiously enough,
what are you planting?
It does depend on the seeds. Some have to be scarified and should go in while it's frozen. They have to be frozen to germinate. Some.
Do you mean planting spiritual seeds? Because any time is great for that.
Oh, there's never a bad time.
And if it's a financial seed that you want to plant, then make sure you watch that video.
You should watch the video anyway. It's lagging on my end. Thank you for the reading. Oh, you're a Libran. Oh, well, there you go.
Well, there you go. That's why you had the scales in that card.
so yeah, it's lagging like mad. I don't know whether it's us or whatever.
No, that's the reading I just did. It said whether you're a Virgo or a Libra. Oh, right. So you are a Libra.
You must be way behind. Well, I don't. Sometimes YouTube does this. Sometimes it's like, people are watching it and they're like 30 seconds behind, and then they ask a question and like there's all sorts of things gone forward from there. And focus on the positive. That's all you can do. Yeah. So, inspirational card. What we got for this? This is actually quite a good card. I
think this is a wonderful card. This is I said, why don't you take a minute and pull a card with an inspiration for how all of us should try to navigate these times.
Do you want me to go first? You go
sure.
second? Well, this is, may you live in interesting times for me. You notice the person's gone 1 foot and they're juggling. Juggling like mad. And it's strange that it's almost like organised chaos here. The sea behind them is definitely topsy-turvy, but there are a couple of ships doing okay in that. It may be, tricky. It may be a difficult navigation. There may be, your soup might slide between two people at the dinner table. It's so be it. But you're getting by. And better than getting by, you're getting noticed because you're approaching this with a deal of aplomb that attracts the interest of others. So I think this is a good time to really notice this is not a shy and retiring hat we are wearing. This shows some degree of comedic magical mastery, if you will. So if you can bring humour to a situation, if you can bring, a positive make light of difficult situations sometimes. You can be the light in the world, but you got to you notice you've got to be fully involved here. This is not, you're not the spectator. You're on one leg juggling like mad here, but that's okay because you're doing it. You're doing it. And once you've figured that out, you realize that the flow is infinite. Aha, you can't run out of this stuff. Somehow you keep finding the energy necessary. Sometimes you keep finding the resources necessary to propel you that little bit further forwards. So hang in there is my advice. I don't know how long this is for. I hope not the entire bloody year. But hang in there because it's gonna come good. Gonna come good. You need to go back and come back to be in real time for the YouTube. Okay.
So you log out, log back in, I guess.
What, you mean like leave the event or
and
scroll
then come
back or...
I don't know.
I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm not in charge of these things.
We're
I think
on the
I
opposite
am.
side of it.
I think
Okay.
I am, but I have no idea.
First thing I noticed about this card tonight in response to how do we deal with these times is the color orange. And orange is a color of courage and strength. So I think that anybody who's still here, still swimming, still doing their best, still keeping a roof over their head, still dealing with the crazy things that are out there, still coping with relationships that might be strained, all those things. I think this card is saying, good job. And you're going to just have to keep doing the good job. You're going to have to keep pulling on that strength. Now, when we look at this character, the left hand of things that are coming in is lower down than the right hand, things that are going out. So, and the character is looking at the left hand at what's coming in. So I think this is, again, going along with the theme for this evening, saying, all this stuff is coming in to bombard you. You have to use your strength to process it and only put out something that has a higher value, right? So something that will feed the mind, feed the body, feed the spirit, or be something good we can offer, right? But we have to take in all this stuff first. And when we take it in, we have to be strong not to get lost in it. You know, definitely people are going to have different opinions. And people seem to be very, very tightly focused on their opinions without a lot of room to listen. People have stopped listening and they may be missing the point.
It's one of the things that I learned fairly early on, and I think it's good because ignorance and arrogance are particularly bad bedfellows. I was taught by my science teachers early on that you are probably wrong, and it's better to come from that opinion, that you're probably wrong, and that way you will actually learn something. Whoops, slow internet apparently, so maybe that's what's going on. Do all the readers at the shop do phone readings, or is it certain ones? Everybody does phone readings. Everybody does phone readings. Yes, indeed, Gilda. We do.
You were looking to get a reading. I know that I'm not reading right now because I can't make that kind of commitment, unfortunately, because I am dealing with some health issues. Thankfully, not COVID, but they are kind of making it really hard for me to keep a schedule, and I do apologize about that, Gilda, because I know that.
It's frustrating.
Yeah,
we get that.
I can't even imagine. I think there's like 50 people on my
on your waiting list right now.
But I was thinking about this the other day, and normally I don't give advice about who to see, right? Because it's like trying to choose.
Who's your favorite child?
Yeah, it's like trying to choose your favorite child. But the other day when we were talking about predictions and I was giving a little overview of the readers, I really felt like you would connect very well with Helena. Yeah.
Interesting.
She is a Gemini.
Crazy ass Gemini. You gotta love her. I do like her.
She's got a great attitude, and I think that you would you'd like her. In fact, you might like her too much, and then you might not come back to me when I come back. All right.
I was dreaming about an orange the other night. Oranges are cool. They really are. Okay, so our stream status has gone back to perfect. I'm perfect. Isn't that a nice thing to know?
Oh God.
Oranges. Well, oranges is a good colour.
Orange is a good color, and the fruit is prosperity, because there's just like, and you're wearing your green shirt, and I'm wearing my peridot ring. There's just this, how are we going to get where we're going kind of thing.
Well, we're getting there. We're getting there. Sometimes, I mean, you can tell this is a run-up to a Mercury retrograde. I have been beset with all manner of technical difficulties.
For the first time ever, a hard drive came
brand new,
that wouldn't boot.
They won't spool up. So one of the things we use for backup, a network attached storage Synology RAID that we use, ran out of space because we've got so much chuffing data. It's a real pain, and I back up our backups, and we have site to site backup just in case anything goes horribly wrong. So running out of space, and I thought, okay, fine, I'll swap out 2 hard drives. I'll make them bigger, and it takes a while for the RAID set if you're really interested to rebuild its parity, because we use RAID 5, which gives you the ability to live switch out drives. It's kind of cool, self-repairing, all that fun stuff. It takes a while to repair. So I switched the first drive out when the 2 came, and that was cool. That took a day and a half, and so a day and a half later I come to put the new drive in. Not recognised. Won't start. It's just so that's got to go back. I've had to outlay for another one. That's on the way. Hopefully that'll be fine. It happens, but it's the first time I've ever had that. And then there was a stand for a monitor, because you may notice we keep looking up there.
Really?
We have to. We're telling them this. They want to know all about our lives. They do.
I'd rather tell them.
All right. Well, we're coming on to that. The stand for the monitor, a bit didn't come to connect the monitor to the stand. So trying to sort that out now. Was it supposed to be in the box? Who knows? So hopefully that'll get sorted.
All right. Anyway, no, I was joking, Gilda. I don't mind if you do like her better than me. It's all good.
No, we're all a family. We're all
exactly. Nobody there is ever going to say, so and so stole my client, because we're all there to help people. That
I might say that.
Everybody there is genuinely in it to help people. It's not about their ego. It's not about extorting money. None of our readers would ever try to say, oh, well, you have this negative energy around you, and if you pay me $200, I'll light a candle or do a spell or blah, blah, blah.
None of them feet will not touch.
Ever do that. And because I have been reading professionally for 30 years, I have to protect that reputation. Right. So I will not put our shop's name with someone who isn't for real. So believe it or not, their interview is they have to read me. Because if they can't read me, they can't read for me. So I want to see their style. I want to see how they interpret the cards. Not everything is fluffy bunny joy and positive. People have real life issues.
Oh God,
but there's a way to aid the person in those issues. In other words, there might be something that leads the reader to believe that someone's uncle may die. But they would never speak that into being. They would never say, oh my God, your uncle's going to die.
Yes.
They would present it in a way that is connected to what a reading is all about, right? You mentioned the orange color with the card.
Coincidence? I think not.
Okay.
There are no coincidences.
So they would present it in a way that is in line with having a reading in the first place. Because why would you go to have a reading? You would go to have a reading to have something brought to light, right? Something illuminated to you so that you could make the best decision moving forward, right?
Well, that's
so
the plan,
sometimes people will talk a little bit about the past, but only if that relates to the future, right? So this isn't about beating somebody up about what's going on in the past. This is about
Yeah, that's not
how
helpful.
to use that as education towards the future. So the reader would very likely say, oh, I see there's something going on here with your Uncle George. Has he been ill? Oh, yes, he's been very ill, blah, blah, blah. Well, it looks like what's going on with him could be life-threatening. Perhaps it's time to get a second opinion or to look into if the medication he's taking is really helping him or whatever. It's to set a tone where you don't speak something awful into being. Oh, your uncle's going to die. And but it's also to bring the person to reality that, yes, your uncle is gravely ill. There may be nothing you can do about it, but if you were ever going to try to do something about it, now is the time.
Denial is not an option, unfortunately, sometimes.
You know, and many times things are shown to us as readers that we don't need to even mention that happened in the past. But we can figure out why the person's there. For an example, somebody's having some fertility issues and they're in their 30s. But when they were in their teens, they had an abortion. Now, I don't need to say anything about that other than you seem to be focused on a decision you made in the past that you seem to think is having an impact on where you are now. If you focus on that and continue to, drag yourself down or depress
guilt
yourself,
association or
guilt
whatever.
yourself, you may be blocking the energy of fertility by focusing on something that, really needs to be part of the past. You don't have to carry that.
You cannot change the past.
So, why am I saying all this? I'm saying all this because I think that readings are becoming mainstream.
Yeah.
We've
everybody and his brother, right?
We're the age of Aquarius, right? We're coming into the age of Aquarius, and the tarot is really becoming a well sought after tool.
Ooh,
and I
right.
think that's natural because many people have looked at the Kabbalah and then they realize that the tarot are the pathways on the tree. And, the Kabbalah was a big deal in Hollywood for quite some time. And, so a lot of press has been given to the New Age things. So they're not new, though.
No, I was going to say
the
New
tarot
Age is a bit of a misnomer, really, isn't it?
But I think that it's buyer beware, really. Not just to choose your tarot deck, but to choose who you're going to seek counsel with, right? So if you were going to go to a medical doctor, more than likely you would check their credentials, right? You might ask a friend, what's their bedside manner like? You might go online and see where they went to college, like you're going to pick a surgeon who probably did well in their class rather than someone who just passed with a C.
Yes. What do you call a med student who graduates bottom of their class?
Doctor, right? So I think that it is important to know that the people associated with us, the 10 readers that we have, are tried and true. They are tested. I don't just take anybody because they walk in and say, I'm a tarot reader. Okay. People come wanting a spot there all the time because we do have a
reputation.
A successful reputation,
It's not come quickly. I mean, the store's 29 years old.
29 years old this year, and I've been reading longer than that. The interesting thing, the people come in and say, "Are you hiring?" And I'll say, "Well, we're only looking for one type of reader. We're looking for an evidentiary medium." Oh, I think I might be that.
You would know,
right? I think I might be that. What is it? Well, if you're asking me what an evidentiary medium is, you're obviously not one. So there are intuitives. Like I would say that I am an intuitive medium. Sometimes I will get messages directly from a particular spirit.
It's unwillingly.
All of the messages that I give obviously are coming from other. They're coming from my higher self or psychic self or the collective psychic energy or spirit. So many times the information that comes out in a reading is coming from spirit. But sometimes, yes, I am an unwilling participant. And I always get that picture of Whoopi Goldberg from the Ghost movie where, whoo, she's like,
we
hell,
stop that.
hell no. But sometimes, if I remember correctly, is how I got your info, Lisa. Another reader did a reading for me, and it was stressful and made me feel worse. And then Jen from earlier gave me your info.
That's Gilda's best friend. They go back, obviously.
Jen Brock, not Jen Moodry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Too many Jens. Well, there can never be too many Jens, of course. Not if your name's Jen, you think. Unless you want to be the only
Fascinating.
one. Fascinating, Kev.
So, yes. So sometimes I will get information from spirit directly. Like something will come in and say, this is whatever my name is, and tell so-and-so whatever.
Something will occasionally knock on the door, literally.
Yeah. So sometimes that, like they'll say, this is her cousin Tim, and tell her not to move to Florida. And I'll say, well, I don't know where this is coming from, but your cousin Tim says you really shouldn't move to Florida. Holy shit, how did you know I had a cousin Tim? How do you know I was thinking about moving to Florida? Blah, blah, blah. Well, you are paying for a psychic reading, So sometimes that will happen. Or sometimes people will challenge you, and, I'll say, this information is coming in, and I believe it's from your grandmother. And the person said, well, if it's from my grandmother, what's their name? And I paused for a minute and gave the name, and she turned white. So that does happen, but I would not consider myself a medium. Sean and Lori are our mediums. Sometimes it's an evidentiary thing, but a lot of times it's a psychic reading, an informational thing.
Yeah, sometimes the information you get is not expressed in words, I think, which makes it always difficult.
You get like a download. But like for Sean and Lori, they may know things that are coming from a particular energy, but it's not always with a medium. It isn't like you can always walk in there and say, all right, I'm here because, my husband died 6 months ago and I want to talk to him. Sometimes you can't get the exact person that the person wants. But an evidentiary medium would be able to give detail, like your husband says his name is Joe, and he says that the key you're looking for is in the strong box underneath his leather jacket. Okay, that's evidentiary. The other stuff is informational, that's very helpful, and it is real. But an evidentiary medium gives evidence, like you would in any kind of witness to a trial.
Your grandmother used to call you Popsicle and had a pair of brown shoes you used to play with. That's evidentiary,
right? Yeah. But giving information that isn't attached to evidence doesn't mean the information is not valid, right? Okay.
So there you go.
Oh.
So yeah, no, we love what we do. It's a wonderful thing, and yeah, it's a challenging time. I don't know. I think things are the numbers here are not. That says 0, which is completely not true. That is correct. So it's just I don't know what's happening.
I know one, but he's in Florida. That's funny.
Well, of course you do.
And Gilda says she's been reading with me since 2009. Well, that's just awesome. Thank you. Yeah, but again, what I'm trying to say is just because I'm not reading right now doesn't mean that you couldn't get a very wonderful reading at the shop. We'll just go down really quickly. Who's there?
Jen wants to become a snowbird. Okay,
January
fine.
to March.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't like shoveling anymore.
I don't like
I'll be
shoveling either,
honest.
but
It's
look,
just-
hey, we've been really lucky.
So far, thus far, but your luck won't last forever, will it? You know,
Right.
if we got no snow this winter, it'd be really odd, wouldn't it?
It would, but it is an odd year.
Yes.
So on Mondays we have Danny. She's our rune reader, and she's runes and crystals. So runes are like little etched tablets that have meanings very similar to the tarot. In other words, there's one that's an X called Gifu or Gebo, and that one is the partnership rune. So if that one comes up next to a rose quartz, she knows it's a romantic relationship. If it comes up next to a money stone, she knows it's a business relationship. So she's really good, quite down to the point. So Danny's not really your fluffy bunny. She's going to be your down and dirty. You know, you want to hear it? You want to hear the truth? I'm going to give it to you. Tuesday, Jen is there during the day. No, Amaryllis, sorry. Amaryllis is there during the day. And she is an empath, and she reads oracle cards. So she has a kind of like a gentler approach where she'll get you to kind of think these ideas are yours in a way. And that's not a bad thing, you know. Ice is worse, yeah. And then in the evening, on Tuesdays, we have Sean, who is a medium, and he also reads tarot. On Wednesday, we have Hannah. She's amazing. She has been working in this field since the mid-70s.
Spooky.
Right? She's very psychic, very intuitive, and she likes to bill herself as a psychic life coach.
Didn't she used to work or collaborate with the person who actually coined the phrase ESP in the first place?
She helped. She helped with that. Yeah, and she's been a priestess of Isis since the 70s as well. So she's very much into goddess mythology and really, really helping you empower yourself. You know?
She has an infectious laugh.
Oh
let
my
me
God,
tell you
she's
that.
wonderful.
She will set the whole room off. And she can't help but laugh. She's just, I love her. I just
And
think
then
it's a wonderful thing.
on Wednesday and Thursday evening, Gwendolyn is in.
She needs an interpreter, but she's lovely.
She does have some mediumship quality as well, but she would not bill herself necessarily as a medium. She also is pretty well versed in palmistry, but she might probably not want to do the whole half-hour session as a palm reading. And she reads Rider-Waite Tarot. So she's very, very good. Sagittarius, absolutely very positive.
But she's from up north and has a really funny accent, like, you know. She does talk like that.
Right.
Sort of.
But she's very, very positive. She's
Lovely. She's lovely.
You know, she's very good at helping you navigate difficult situations. So that's Gwendolyn Wednesday and Thursday evening. Thursday during the day we have Rogan. Now, Rogan has been my friend since we were 16, and I am going to be 58 in a few weeks.
God, what a giveaway.
So I've known him a very, very long time. He's Cancerian, he's empathic, and he really likes you to come with a question or two. Like, he doesn't want to just sit down and do what's called a cold reading or a general reading. He'd like you to say, you know, the issue is
here's the dirt.
The
Let's
issue
dig
is
into this.
financial, or the issue is romantic, or the issue is health, or whatever. And Friday is Maria. She reads Christopher Hughes' Celtic Tarot. Very well versed in Celtic mythology, and really helps use the stories from the Mabinogi to inspire people and answer their questions. She can be very direct as well.
Oh yeah.
But she's very kind.
She is actually.
But she,
kind
you know, if you
person.
ask her a question about something, she might say, "Well, I can see that A, B, and C. None of those three things are helping you. Why are you doing A, B, and C?" You know. And let's see then. Saturday is Sean and Rogan, and Sunday is Helena. So Gilda, if you were looking for Helena, she reads on Sundays.
Sundays.
And
that's right.
yeah, like I had said before, she reads oracle cards, and she's very open-minded. It's going to be really hard to throw something at her that she can't just get a handle on. You know,
She doesn't shock easily. I think that would
no,
be.
I think she's
I think
had
she can cope with it. Yeah.
she's had a really good bunch of life
A
experience.
broad life experience, shall we put it that way?
So
Very broad,
that's all them, right? Lori, I talked about Lori. She's reads on the phone readings Fridays and Sundays. So altogether there are 10 of us, and only 7 days a week. So hopefully you will get who you need to go with. And you know, it is kind of like visiting a doctor. You don't always have the right connection to somebody, right?
Doesn't mean
So-
they're a crap doctor if their bedside manner is terrible. They
With-
might be just very
within
brusque,
the first
you know.
5 minutes or so, you'll know whether you're making a connection to that reader. And we tell the readers, if you're coming up against a block, you can send the person to someone else, right? So it's not that that's a bad reader, it's that the chemistry isn't there, that they're not connecting. Just like you could go to a doctor and somebody else could recommend that doctor, say, oh, very best doctor you're ever going to have for such and so. And you go to them and you think, what the hell was that? I would never go back to that doctor. So you want to find the reader you connect with as well.
I've had to gently direct a couple of people to other people. You know, if somebody just continues to ask exactly the same question again and again, no matter how many times you've answered it, to me that's like, yeah, you're swimming in that old river in Egypt. I'm not going to be helping you, love. I'm not the person for you.
Right.
You know, I'm not going to do, and Lisa's the same. I'm not going to sit there and tell you what you want to hear. No way.
Oh, no.
You know, sometimes what I have to say, what Spirit has to say, because I have nothing to bloody do with this. I just
It's whatever cards
open
come
my
out
mouth
and whatever information comes out,
and stuff falls out of it. So whatever Spirit has to tell you, you know, if you don't have the ears to hear it, if you don't want to, you know, some people, you know, it's. I mean. We've had him online as well, doing the same thing. Ask the same question. Ask the question. Answer the question. Ask the same question. The answer's still the same.
Yeah.
It's not going to change. Not right there. Although it is a snapshot. Nothing's ever set in stone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Free will is always at bay. Something that looks one way particularly in one moment, someone else involved in the equation could change their mind and change the whole outcome. That's true. So nobody is a perfect psychic. You can't be like 100%, you know, because other people are involved sometimes. Sometimes the questions involve what I call spiritual spying, you know. What is he thinking right now? He's thinking, where's the remote? No. You know, I'm being flippant, but I don't, but I mean that, like, sometimes we don't have permission to read the other party. We only have permission to read the person in front of us. So we can only do what we can do with that information, right? There might be someone who is withholding on purpose, and we can't tell you what he's thinking because he doesn't want you to know. He's done his best job to hide that from you or whatever. You know, so you do your best. I call it spiritual spying. And the other thing is, many of the readers are going to give you homework. You know, you're going to say, okay, this is your goal, and these are the things that I'd like you to work on to get to your goal.
If you want to fix it, it
you
requires some input.
You can always come back, and I would love to talk to you again and see how far you got, or what worked, what you tried, that kind of thing. But a lot of us aren't going to let you off easy. We're going to give you personal responsibility for what it is you're working on. And I think that's healthy. You know, you want to be part of your own success.
But isn't that, you know, people come to, I love it when that you can show somebody a path forward from a blocked situation, even if it involves work, you know. Because to be honest, all growth usually involves work. You know,
you got to break the seed cover and put down a root. And
there's the vulnerability process there as the seed finally breaks the surface. You know, as we're talking about planting, we're going back to seeds now. But yeah, there's that terrible vulnerability. Hard frost at that time, that seedling could be dead. So growth comes with risk. Definitely. Yeah. And a lot of people don't get that. I mean, there's no there's no quick fix. There's no easy panacea. Here, take this snake oil, because it is just snake oil at that point. True growth comes from within. If that which you seek you find not within yourself, you will never find it without. And it's hard sometimes. It jars some people when an issue is illustrated that requires some input from them, and sometimes that could be difficult. It could be difficult. I've told people you are driving the guy away. That's what you are doing. Well,
it's not just guys that get driven away.
Absolutely. I'm just saying that for an example. That's
right.
Just one little example. That so there has to be this. There has to be that willingness. I mean, why are you going for information that can bring about a potential life change for you if you're not prepared to affect that change, Personal involvement is a prerequisite when you come to me. If you're not gonna do anything, if you're just gonna, when's it gonna change? Never. If you don't
be the change you want to see, right?
Never. The answer is never. You are stuck there because you are asking the same question repeatedly without doing anything different.
Take a couple of deep breaths
and exhale.
Nice. Exhale.
Exhale
right.
is good.
But
I
think that a reading is a very good thing to do if you feel stuck. Right? If you've tried a few different things and, you're dealing in this echo chamber and you really don't feel that you by yourself can get the knowledge and information that you need, absolutely have a psychic reading. Some people are afraid of them.
You won't tell me bad stuff's going to happen. Well, nothing's set in stone. Okay. That's the thing, though.
Some people are afraid of them because they think, that person is a mind reader and they're going to pull out all my deep, dark shit and put it out for me. That's not what a good reading is about. A good reading is about helping somebody figure out the best way to navigate the situation, right? Exactly. And then there are definitely those, what I call gloom and doom readers, who would use that situation and say, I'm astute enough, a psychic, to realize that you did have an abortion when you were in your teens and you're having fertility issues now. Well, in order to clear your karma for that, you're going to have to pay me $200 for this candle and I'm going to do a prayer for you.
Stand up,
so
leave the room, do it now.
They have definitely, those kind of readers have definitely given psychic readings a bad name.
There are those who do that.
And there are those who do that. The only kind of spell work that we would do for somebody else or on someone else's behalf, is healing of some sort. We certainly aren't going to extort hundreds of dollars from somebody. But that energy is out there. So there's the energy out there of, I'm afraid of a reading because they're going to read my mind. I'm afraid of a reading because they're just charlatans and they're going to extort me. But that said, I feel like people are waking up to more esoteric, holistic healing.
True that, yeah, indeed.
All right. Well, I think we're done for tonight, guys.
I do.
You know what? I realized I made a note to myself. I never made a Facebook event for tonight. Last week I made a Facebook event. I just went on and said, catch us on YouTube, but I didn't make a Facebook event, and I want to make sure I do that.
I have a sense, though, that the stream is not perfect tonight. I don't know whether notifications, because we normally see a lot more people than that, but it's okay. It's okay.
Everything for a reason.
We're both
the
pretty
people that are
tired
here
and
are
exhausted.
the people that are here are the people that needed to be here. But we're usually very excited, and we get a lot of questions. But I think we put out some good stuff tonight.
I think there's a general sort of, if we had to recap the kind of ethos of what's going on here, there is that kind of, hello John, how you doing? You never asked for a card unless he's just joined us. Or if you asked and we didn't see you, please forget, maybe there's 1,000 messages
Oh my God, that would be horrible if they're not showing us.
It's saying no data now at this point. So there's weird and wonderful stuff going on. Oh, excellent connection.
Anyway, Gilda said, loved you tonight.
Oh, no, thank you.
Both again for this space. We love what we do.
We do love doing it.
And especially now while I'm not able to to do a lot of readings. This is a great way for me to stay connected.
It is. It's wonderful, and
Yeah.
it is. I love to give back. I do. I think the world is it's obvious. Like I was saying, the ethos or the undercurrent for tonight, the zeitgeist, if you will, is a lot of people are dealing with struggle at the moment, struggle and frustration, and I get it. I understand that.
Well, even if you're living your best life, you're living it in this energy.
We're all in the same ocean, swimming. Some are swimming in power, some are swimming in pain, that's for sure. But I think sometimes, though, wondrous things can happen if you just extend a hand of support and love to somebody.
Love is the law.
And if we can, I've been here. No, didn't need one tonight, but love you and honour. Oh, John, thank you. That's really blessed of you to say that. Thank you. So, yeah, love is the strongest force in the universe. There's a lot of people poking the bear, trying to rile everybody up and all that sort of stuff. And we're blessed that we can sort of step outside of that. We live in our own little private Idaho for the largest thing. But we still get the models come and invade
even
that sometimes.
I have been tested, I will say. And there is something to that old adage that the older you get, the less patience you have. So I've found that I don't suffer fools as gladly as I used to. But that said, I'm not a mean person.
I will say, for the most part, you're hugely gracious, and I could take a leaf from your book there, because I'm as subtle as a flying housebreak, which isn't good. It isn't good. I've been known sometimes just to forget about the filter and just
well, that's what I think is happening. Yeah. I joke with him and I call him by his dad's name sometimes, because when he goes all off, I'm like, okay, Eric, and he's like, oh, damn, but yeah, I think that I am.
We become our parents.
Well, no, I think there's a lot of really heavy stuff out there for spiritual people to be lifting right now.
True that. Yeah.
But 1 and 1 is 10.
It is.
So if we can band together and send healing and tolerance and love and if we can do that as a group, we can make a difference. So I think that we, in the face of all this, like I said, even if you're living your best life, the best thing to do is try to help somebody else who's having trouble.
You know what? That's hugely inspiring as well. And there's a great, for me, service to others is the pinnacle of human development, and should be regarded as that. Mean people suck, frankly, but people who are altruistic and reach out to try and help others, I think that is true nobility. I think that is the pinnacle of human development. I've said it 1,000 times, I'll say it again. The knight never stands so tall except when he kneels to help a child.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the same thing you say before, where if you're uninspired, go inspire someone else. It's true. It fills you with, I don't know, it's an infection, if you will. Yeah.
But a wonderful one. To feel like you've actually made a difference. And the smallest, teeniest, tiniest things can make a difference. And
well, that's another reason why we did the magic that we did the other night. So we did magic on the new moon, at the time of the new moon, and captured that energy. And yes, a circle, a sacred space, is a time out of time. But the time collected in that time belongs to that Capricorn new moon and all those positive things that we will need to deal with the Mercury retrograde. So we have this energy prior to Mercury retrograde, a safe place for people to do prosperity work, and we'll try to get that video up next week.
I'll get to it.
It isn't going to happen before that, because Craft of the Wise is Sunday and we're pretty busy these next few days.
Day after tomorrow's Friday. So there you go.
Yep.
That's the whole week gone.
All right, folks.
Thank you. Honestly, it's been a joy and a pleasure.
And I will make sure to...
People are joining us now. They're probably going to find there's like 25, 30 people all going, can I have a reading? But, we're just...
No, we're done.
Technology.
But I will make sure that I make an event on Facebook, because I think that's the difference between this week and last. However, everything happens for a reason, so the people that were here were supposed to be part of our oversoul tonight.
listen, you guys are so welcome. We love it, and we love the kind of weird little beautiful group
Yeah.
that's sort of forming. I love that there's always an energy to everything, isn't there?
Oh yeah,
and,
yeah.
And
the
we
people
sort of,
who come, they
we
listen to
get
the
to know
other
you guys.
listen to the other person's readings because you're
Yeah.
here together because you can help each other.
So thank you so much.
All right, thank
All right.
you.
Have yourself an amazingly wonderful evening.
Right, blessings.
We truly are blessed to have you there. I have to nip over here. We're going to bid you a wonderful evening, and do please like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you for 11's on
all
Monday.
of this technology.
Technology. Well, I'm going to end the stream now. That's what I'm
Go
gonna
look
do.
at the predictions if you didn't have time to the other day, because they're a
all
lot
that
of fun.
stuff. Where does it say end stream? There you go. Where's the end stream?
I don't know.
I wish it would do this. There you go.
Streaming?
Yes, it may be. All right. Have an amazing
All
night.
right.